There is nothing more agonizing than the silence of uncertainty. You find yourself lying awake at night, replaying every conversation, analyzing every glance, and dissecting every laugh. You wonder if you are reading into things that aren't there, or if she is terrified of ruining what you currently have. The fear of rejection often forces a woman to build walls around her heart, hiding her deepest feelings behind a veil of friendship or casual indifference. But human psychology is complex. No matter how hard someone tries to conceal their emotions, the subconscious mind always leaks the truth. Today, we are going to deconstruct the subtle, often invisible signals that prove she is falling for you, even if she refuses to admit it. When a woman is developing deep romantic feelings but feels the need to hide them, perhaps due to a fear of vulnerability, a past heartbreak, or the risk of losing a friendship, her behavior becomes a paradox. She pulls away just as she wants to get closer. The first psychological indicator we need to examine is the phenomenon of protective distancing, coupled with high-value observation. You might notice that she treats you differently than everyone else, but not in the way you expect. While she might be loud, outgoing, and touchy with her other friends, she becomes noticeably quieter or more reserved around you. This is not disinterest, this is anxiety. When we value someone highly, our cortisol levels spike, making us hyper-aware of our actions. She is hiding her feelings by trying to control the narrative, ensuring she doesn't slip up and reveal the intensity of her attraction. However, while her words may be guarded, her eyes will betray her. This brings us to the concept of prolonged gaze and rapid aversion. Science tells us that when we look at something we desire, our pupils dilate and our blink rate slows down. If you catch her looking at you from across the room and she immediately snaps her head away the moment your eyes meet, that is a massive indicator of hidden affection. It is a reflex action. She was caught in a moment of admiration, and the sudden realization triggered a flight response. If she didn't care, she would simply glaze over you or smile politely. But that sharp, panicked look away, that is the sign of a secret she is desperate to keep. Before we go deeper into the subconscious triggers of attraction, if you are finding clarity in this analysis and want to understand the complexities of human connection, consider subscribing. We are decoding the unspoken language of love. Now let's talk about the mirroring effect, but we need to look at it through a more advanced lens. Basic mirroring is when she copies your posture. But when a woman is hiding strong feelings, she unconsciously mirrors your internal state, not just your physical one. This is known as interactional synchrony. If you are having a bad day and your energy is low, notice if her mood shifts to match yours instantly. She isn't just listening, she is empathizing on a visceral level. She feels your pain as her own because in her mind, she is already emotionally attached to you. You will find that she adopts your slang, your cadence of speaking, and even your opinions on trivial matters. This is her brain's way of signaling, we are the same, we belong together, without her ever saying a word. Another profound sign is her memory retention regarding micro details. A casual friend remembers your birthday or your job. A woman who is falling for you remembers the name of the childhood pet you mentioned once 3 months ago. She remembers how you take your coffee or that you hate the texture of velvet. Why? Because when we fall in love, the brain releases dopamine associated with the target of our affection. This chemical reaction tags every piece of information about you as critical data. She is building a mental map of your life because she desperately wants to be a part of it. If she brings up a small, insignificant detail you mentioned in passing, do not ignore it. It is proof that she hangs on to your every word, analyzing them long after the conversation is over. This intense focus often leads to a behavior called inquisitive probing. She won't just ask, "How was your day?" She will ask questions that demand a deeper emotional response. She might ask about your childhood, your fears, your relationship with your parents, or your future goals. This is not idle chit-chat. She is qualifying you. She is trying to see if your values align with hers and if there is space in your future for her. But because she is hiding her feelings, she will often frame these deep questions as hypothetical scenarios or jokes. She might ask, "What kind of girl do you think you'll end up with?" Followed by a laugh, as if it doesn't matter. But the answer matters more to her than anything else in that moment. She is testing the waters, trying to see if she fits the description of the woman you desire. Let's delve into one of the most confusing yet telling indicators of hidden attraction: the jealousy paradox. When a woman is open about her feelings, her jealousy is obvious. But when she is hiding her feelings, her jealousy manifests as a sudden, unexplained withdrawal or a shift in atmosphere. You might mention a female colleague or a date you went on, and physically, she remains still, but the temperature in the room drops. This is not the loud jealousy of a girlfriend. This is the silent agony of unrequited love. Watch for the micro expressions of disdain. For a split second, her lip might curl or her eyebrows might furrow before she forces a smile back onto her face. She might suddenly become very interested in her phone or abruptly change the subject. Psychologically, she is trying to protect herself from the pain of imagining you with someone else. She might even go as far as to over-support you, saying things like, "Oh, she sounds perfect for you," but her tone will be flat, lacking genuine enthusiasm. She is testing your reaction, hoping you will deny it, hoping you will say, "No, she's not the one," because the only one she wants you to see is her. This passive-aggressive withdrawal is a defense mechanism designed to prepare her for rejection, even though she is silently screaming for your validation. This internal conflict often leads to a behavior pattern known as intermittent reinforcement, often described as blowing hot and cold. This is perhaps the most frustrating sign for men to decode, but it is also one of the strongest indicators of deep suppressed emotion. One day, she is texting you nonstop, laughing at your jokes, and making plans to see you. The next day, she is distant, her replies are short, and she seems busy. You feel like you have done something wrong, but in reality, you have done something right. You got too close. When she let her guard down and enjoyed that intimacy with you, reality hit her later. She realized how vulnerable she is to you, how much power you have to hurt her. Panic sets in. To regain a sense of control over her own emotions, she pulls back. She creates distance to convince herself that she doesn't need you. This push-pull dynamic is a chaotic dance of fear and desire. If she didn't care about you, her behavior would be consistent, consistently friendly or consistently indifferent. But this volatility, it is the heartbeat of a hidden romance. She is fighting a war between her heart, which wants to merge with yours, and her brain, which is screaming at her to stay safe. Now, we must analyze her digital footprint, specifically digital orbiting and the curator's eye. In the modern age, love leaves a data trail. A woman who is falling for you but hiding it will interact with your social media in a very specific, calculated way. She might not like every photo you post immediately. That would be too obvious. Instead, she watches. She is often one of the first people to view your stories, sometimes within minutes. This indicates that despite her trying to play it cool, her subconscious prioritizes you. She wants to know what you are doing, who you are with, and where you are. Furthermore, look for the deep dive phenomenon. Did she accidentally like a photo from 3 years ago? Or perhaps she brings up a topic you only posted about months ago. This means she is consuming your history. She's trying to understand the version of you that existed before she met you. She is analyzing your past relationships, your hobbies, your family dynamics, all through the lens of your digital archive. She is studying you like a subject because she is planning a future where she is the expert on you. If you are recognizing these patterns in your own life and want to unlock the full potential of your relationships, make sure you are subscribed. We are providing the blueprint to understand the female mind. Moving deeper into the subconscious, we observe the hero instinct trigger. Even independent, strong women, when falling in love, will unconsciously create scenarios where they need your help. This is not about incompetence, it is about intimacy. She might ask for your advice on a problem she could easily solve herself. She might ask you to help her fix something, carry something, or explain a complex topic. Why? Because asking for help is a vulnerability. It allows her to step into a submissive, receptive role and allows you to step into a provider, protector role. Evolutionarily, this bonds two people together. If she is constantly coming to you with her problems, she is signaling that she trusts your judgment above others. She wants to see you as capable and strong. She wants to feel safe in your presence. When you help her, observe her reaction. Does she linger? Does she offer excessive gratitude? Does she use it as an excuse to buy you a coffee or spend more time with you? She is manufacturing reasons to be in your debt, creating a cycle of reciprocity that keeps you tethered to her. Another physical manifestation of her hidden feelings is barrier removal and open body language. When we are with someone we view as just a friend, we are comfortable with obstacles between us: a coffee cup, a bag, a stack of books. These are physical representations of emotional boundaries. When a woman is falling for you, she will subconsciously remove these barriers. If you are sitting at a table, she will move the menu or the flower vase to the side to have a clear line of sight to you. She wants nothing blocking the path between her and you. Furthermore, look at her feet and her torso. Even if she is talking to someone else in the group, is her body angled towards you? This is called the magnetic north. You are the magnetic north of her compass. Her body naturally aligns with yours because her focus is entirely on you. She might lean in when you speak, invading your personal space slightly more than is socially acceptable for a platonic friend. She touches your arm to emphasize a point, or she fixes your collar, or she picks a piece of lint off your shirt. These grooming behaviors are primal. In the animal kingdom, grooming is the ultimate sign of bonding and affection. By touching you, she is claiming you, marking her territory in the most subtle, socially acceptable way she can find. Let's also consider the concept of future pacing. A woman who sees you only as a temporary friend talks about the here and now. A woman who is hiding deep feelings will inadvertently include you in her future. She won't say, "We should get married," but she will drop subtle hints. She might say, "We should go to that concert next summer," or "I'd love to show you this place I went to as a kid someday." Notice the vague timeline. Someday, next summer. She is projecting a timeline where you are still in her life months or years down the road. She is testing your reaction to a shared future. If you agree, she gets a hit of dopamine, a confirmation that you aren't planning on leaving. This is her way of checking if her hidden fantasy has any grounding in reality. She is building a bridge to the future, plank by plank, hoping you will walk across it with her. Finally, in this segment, we must address the vulnerability hangover. If she ever does open up to you, shares a dark secret, cries in front of you, or tells you about a past trauma, watch what happens immediately after. A woman hiding her feelings will often panic after a moment of true vulnerability. She feels exposed. She feels she has given you ammunition to hurt her. So she might disappear for a few days or make a joke to undercut the seriousness of what she shared. She might say, "God, I was such a mess last night. Ignore me." This is the hangover. She is terrified that by showing you her broken parts, she has ruined the perfect image she wants you to have of her. But the very fact that she showed you those parts proves that she trusts you more than anyone else. She wants to be loved for who she is, but she is terrified that who she is isn't enough. As we reach the final and most critical phase of our analysis, we must examine the anti-wing woman phenomenon. This is a subtle form of sabotage born out of desperation. If you ask her for dating advice or mention that you are interested in another woman, observe her reaction closely. A true friend will be enthusiastic and supportive, perhaps even offering to introduce you to someone. A woman who is hiding her feelings will do the opposite. She will find flaws in the women you are interested in, often focusing on superficial or trivial things. She might say, "She doesn't seem like your type," or "I've heard some things about her," or "You can do so much better." She isn't trying to protect you from a bad relationship. She is trying to protect her potential future with you. She cannot bear the thought of facilitating her own heartbreak. By devaluing your other options, she is subconsciously trying to position herself as the only logical choice. She is trying to eliminate the competition before the race even begins. This behavior often stems from a deep-seated fear that if you find happiness elsewhere, her chance will be gone forever. This leads us to the concept of high-stakes availability. In our busy lives, time is the most valuable currency. We prioritize people based on their importance to us. A woman who is in love with you will make you a priority, often at the expense of her own schedule. You will notice that she is almost never too busy for you. If you suggest a hangout last minute, she will move mountains to make it happen. She might cancel plans with other friends, lose sleep, or rearrange her work, all just to see you for an hour. This is not just about being available, it is about opportunity cost. She is willing to sacrifice other aspects of her life because the value she places on your presence is higher than anything else. However, because she is hiding her feelings, she will try to downplay this effort. She will say, "Oh, I wasn't doing anything anyway," or "I was just in the neighborhood." She lies about the effort to maintain her cover, terrified that if you knew she canceled a family dinner just to grab coffee with you, you would see how desperate she truly is. Now we arrive at the ultimate indicator, the ambiguous statement of desire. This is the final test she throws out when she can no longer contain her emotions, but is still too afraid to be direct. She will make statements that describe you perfectly, but frame them as general wishes. She might look at you during a quiet moment and say, "I wish I could find a guy who understands me the way you do," or Why can't all men be like you? This is the loudest silence you will ever hear. She is literally describing you to you, hoping you will fill in the blank. It is a safety net. If you respond romantically, she wins. If you remain silent or laugh it off, she can claim she was just venting about her dating struggles. It gives her plausible deniability. She puts the ball entirely in your court, waiting with bated breath to see if you will finally cross the line she's too scared to cross herself. We have dissected the anatomy of hidden love. We have looked at the dilated pupils, the mirroring of souls, the jealousy masked as indifference, and the silent pleas for connection. You have to understand that hiding feelings is exhausting. It is a constant battle between the fear of rejection and the pain of regret. If the woman in your life is showing these signs, the prolonged stares, the deep questions, the irrational jealousy, the unwavering support, she is waiting for you. She is standing behind a wall of glass, banging on it, hoping you will hear the vibration, even if you can't hear the scream. She is terrified that speaking up will ruin the friendship you have, but she is dying inside because being just friends is no longer enough. Human connection is rare. To find someone who mirrors your energy, who remembers your childhood stories, who prioritizes you above all else, this is not something to be taken lightly. If you recognize these behaviors, you are at a crossroads. You can ignore them and stay in the safety of the status quo, potentially watching her drift away when she finally decides the pain is too much. Or you can take the risk. You can bridge the gap, because often the only thing standing between two people who are madly in love is the silence of who will say it first. Do not let fear dictate your future. Read the signs, trust your intuition, and have the courage to ask the question that could change both of your lives. Thank you for journeying with us through the complexities of the human heart. If this analysis has given you the clarity you needed, and if you want to continue exploring the depths of psychology and relationships, make sure you are subscribed to our community. We are here to uncover the truths that others are too afraid to speak. Until next time, observe closely, love fearlessly, and never underestimate the power of unspoken words.